Okay, I'm going to show you how to do a sprint specific isometric, and we're going to be going through the knee isometric. So first off, I'm going to show you how to set this up on a Smith machine, and what you need to do is twist the bar so you're hooking it from underneath, and it's going to hook onto those pins so you can push into it maximally without it going anywhere. And then you're going to get the perfect height for you. And essentially what we're looking for is for your shoulder to be over your hip and your hip to be over your foot. Okay, so that's a straight line, but the only thing that's going to be out of that straight line is going to be your knee, okay? And we want your knee to be bent roughly 30 to 40 degrees, okay? So if we think that a straight leg is 0, we're looking for a 30 to 40 degree bend. And looking back at this video, I'm probably a little bit too straight, okay? So what I'd need to do is probably stand on another plate, which would probably knock me up an inch or so, and that'd probably be a little bit better. And what we're thinking about here is pushing into the bar maximally, okay? I'm trying to think about really extending that knee as hard as I can, pushing myself up. And this is going to be really good for improving those sprint specific positions. If you don't have a Smith machine in your gym, the other thing you can do is set up the hooks in a squat rack, okay? So they're at a perfect height for you. So that you can push into them maximally, and you can either turn these upside down or you can push into the bottom of them, whichever way works for you. We are going to have to play around a little bit just to get this perfect, but once you've got that, you can see those positions I was speaking about before, and this is probably a better example actually of what kind of position we would want. So shoulder is over hip, is over foot, and we've got a little bit more of a knee bend, which is probably a lot better of a position actually. So we need to try and replicate this as much as possible. Ideally, we'd have an idea of what you look like when you're sprinting, so that we can try and replicate that in this example, okay? And all I'm thinking about is pushing into that bar as hard as I can for a few seconds, depending on my loading prescription, and then relaxing off and then going again. I don't mind what happens with this foot on the knee isometric, because if we're trying to replicate sprint positions, that foot is probably going to be behind me at this point anyway as it swings through. So the most important thing, rib cage is down, glutes are tight, knee is pushing up maximally, okay? So that foot is fully flat into the ground. If for whatever reason your squat rack isn't one where you can adjust the J hooks, then what you can do is put the bar on top of the J hooks as normal, or on top of whichever squat rack you have. So find the comfy position, and then all you'll do is just load it up with loads and loads of weight, with enough weight that you will not be able to move it when you push into it, okay? So that is the sprint specific isometrics with a knee ISO.